The email came at the worst possible moment, just when Ethan Hale, a tired single father with bills spread across his kitchen table, thought the day couldn't sink any lower. His landlord wanted rent early, his old car had begun making a noise like metal crying, and his daughter, Lily, had outgrown her shoes again. But the email glowed on his cracked phone screen like a lifeline. Urgent IT assistance needed at Eternacorp headquarters. High pay for same-day service. Ethan grabbed his toolkit with a whispered prayer. He didn't know then that one broken computer and one unexpected photograph would change the entire course of his life. Before diving deeper, viewers, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the beauty of unexpected human connections, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Grandma's Book. Your support keeps these real-life inspired stories alive. Ethan arrived at the sleek glass building under the bright daytime sky, feeling out of place as employees in tailored suits hurried past him. He was led to the top floor, the executive suite, where everything smelled of polished wood and expensive perfume. Inside the spacious office, sunlight streamed through tall windows, illuminating an empty chair behind a massive desk. The CEO, Aurora Sterling, had stepped out for a meeting, leaving only a note instructing him to repair her frozen computer. Ethan exhaled slowly and began his work, trying not to think about how the chair probably cost more than his monthly rent. The computer was heavily encrypted, but the issue was simple: an outdated driver. As he updated the system, the screen flashed and reopened to the last active window. Ethan froze when he saw it, a large photo of Aurora, not in the cold, powerful style of a corporate headshot, but a candid picture of her sitting outdoors in soft natural daylight, smiling at something beyond the frame. She looked nothing like the intimidating CEO people whispered about. She looked human. Lonely, even. Before he could click away, the office door opened and Aurora Sterling walked in with a calm authority that filled the room. She approached quietly, her heels tapping against the floor, and glanced at the screen. Instead of anger, she gave a small, unreadable smile. Then she asked a question Ethan never expected to hear from a woman who owned half the tech patents in the region. "Tell me, am I pretty?" Ethan felt heat rise in his face. He stammered, trying not to make it awkward, but something about the vulnerability in her voice struck him. She wasn't teasing. She wasn't fishing for compliments. She was genuinely asking. A woman with wealth, power, and the world at her command, yet in that moment, she looked like someone who hadn't heard a kind word in years. Ethan, still holding a screwdriver in trembling fingers, carefully told her that the woman in the photo looked happy, warm, and real, and that, in itself, was beautiful. Aurora's expression softened with a tenderness so subtle he almost missed it. Over the next few days, Aurora requested Ethan specifically for follow-up fixes, paper jams, error codes, Wi-Fi issues that mysteriously appeared only when she wanted a reason to see him. Ethan noticed that she always seemed tense around others but relaxed, almost peaceful, when he entered the room. Meanwhile, he never once forgot who she was, someone far above his world, living in a place he could never belong. Still, he couldn't deny how she looked at him, nor the way her voice mellowed whenever she asked about Lily, or how she laughed quietly at his stories about broken toasters and spilled cereal. One afternoon, during a bright sunny day when the city below buzzed with life, Aurora finally opened up. She confessed that people admired her success but never saw her. Not the woman who ate alone in her penthouse, not the girl who grew up without parents, not the human being behind the empire. And Ethan, in his simple, honest way, listened without judgment. She wasn't the untouchable CEO anymore, she was someone searching for connection, yet Ethan's life remained a battlefield. Lily's school called about overdue fees. The landlord taped notices to his door. His car died completely. He began turning down Aurora's calls, not because he wanted to, but because he feared dragging someone like her into his chaos. But Aurora wasn't blind. She noticed the change, the shadows under his eyes, the way he avoided looking at her office windows when he left the building. One day, she found him in the lobby, shoulders slumped, holding a box of his tools because he had sold half of them for rent money. She pulled him aside and asked why he was distancing himself. Ethan, voice cracking, admitted he had nothing to offer someone like her. No luxury, no comfort, just a tiny apartment and a child who needed him. Aurora surprised him by gently taking his hands and telling him that what he offered was the one thing no one else ever gave her: sincerity. She didn't want his money or status. She wanted the man who saw her photo and didn't judge, the man who fixed things not just with tools but with kindness. That day, under the warm daylight pouring through the lobby windows, something shifted. Not a fairy tale transformation, not sudden wealth, but a promise. A promise that two broken, lonely hearts could find strength in each other. Aurora arranged a flexible job for him that paid fairly and gave him time with Lily. Ethan didn't feel pitted, he felt valued. And slowly, with care and gratitude, their lives intertwined. Viewers, if this story touched your heart, if you believe that kindness, honesty, and unexpected connections can change a life, please like, comment, and subscribe to Grandma's Book. Your support means more than you know. Before we end, please drop a prayer or blessing in the comments for all single parents doing their best despite the odds. And so, in the brightness of an ordinary day, two people who had every reason to give up on love found hope where they least expected it. Sometimes, all it takes is a broken computer, a quiet smile, and the courage to ask, "Am I pretty?" and the courage to answer with truth.